You're live.
All right, welcome everybody to our Wednesday Q&A show, and it is 10:57 p.m. Central or a.m. Central Time. So we're not officially getting started just yet. So go and comment down below where you're from, what you're interested in learning today, or maybe you wanna jump the guns and start asking a question, which is totally okay. So go and leave them down below. Welcome, guys, and we'll get started in about 3 minutes for the official show. And I have some really important announcement today, so you may want to pay attention throughout. So, all right, so we got a couple people watching this so far. Amazing. I am paying attention to the chat box right here. I got my phone with questions being fed here. So as you can see, we did make some modification to our studio. We got a bookshelf here, and we have another bookshelf here. You just can't see it, but we got this bookshelf. If you notice, my Lamborghini's up here. Right, there you go. This is what I drove to the office today. Yeah, in our studio, right? So there we go. So go ahead and drop down the question. We got Nilafar from New York. Welcome. All right, so go and drop down where are you guys from, what do you hope to learn today, etc. So we got 2 more minutes until our official show time begin. I know we're making some adjustments right now with our studio. Bobby Simpson, Seattle, Washington. Awesome. Cool, guys. Wonderful. So I will be paying attention to your questions. Obviously, I got my phone out and as well as my coffee. So we're gonna get this show started. And if you have any questions right off the get-go, you're like, you know what, Sam, I've been waiting for a week for me to ask this question. Let's go and get this started. You can always obviously drop it down below usually what I do is I answer these questions in order at, first come, first serve. So if you want your questions answered first, you'll probably want to have your questions being entered down below. Okay? Alrighty. So before we get this started officially, I do have an important announcement. So if you guys are watching the recording of this, you may notice it already, but we'll have an important announcement towards the end of this show. So go and drop it down below. There we go. We got Pablo from New Orleans. Welcome, Pablo. It's a warm place, I'm sure, in Louisiana. Okay. Let's see here. Cool. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna get the show started, and I want to welcome everybody to our weekly Q&A show regarding how to pay off your mortgage, Heloc. We talk about credit. We just actually yesterday filmed 4 videos on business credit, so that's coming down the pipeline pretty soon here. What typically happens if you want to get the behind the scenes look of what we do, we usually typically film 4 to 5 videos in a day. And we obviously, pre-plan those video releases. So we release our videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2:30 p.m. Central Time. So by the time by the time December rolls around, we should have all the business credit videos rolled out. So we got, I believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We got 3 videos ahead of us that are scheduled already to be released. Actually, take that back. We got 2 more videos scheduled to be released. So next week, I think we should have. Give us 5 videos, and we should have business credit videos coming out. So we got a special interview video tomorrow and Tuesday. Next Thursday, Daniel's got something for you guys. And then come December, we're gonna have some business credit video. I know it takes some time for us to actually get it out there after we film, but that's because obviously we gotta edit it and we got all the videos ahead that we need to release and so on. Okay, so I just see some questions right off the bat. Awesome. But before we go and answer that question, we want to first hear from one of our sponsors, and that is PropStream. So I see a lot of you guys signing for PropStream. This is amazing because I can see it. We have a dashboard that tells us how many people who have signed up for PropStream. Well, guys, if you are in real estate investing or you want to get into real estate investing in general, PropStream is a software that can help you accomplish that. So if you want to look for deals, off-market deals, secret deals, if you want to be able to send postcards or mails to individuals that might be interested in selling their real estate to you, And if you want to do it in a mass emailing, mass mail, scale marketing, PropStream is definitely a tool that we love and we use ourselves to go and find our secret off-market deals. So if you guys want access to PropStream, 7 days of free trial, go and sign up. That's REI software.thekwakbrothers.com, reisoftware.thekwakbrothers.com. Go and sign up for 7-day free trial, no risk. You don't have to continue. You can just quit at the end of the 7 days. But if you love it, if you decide to keep it around, I believe it is $99 or $97 a month. So go to reisoftware.thekwakbrothers.com for this exclusive offer from the Kwak Brothers 7-day free trial. Cool. Alrighty, here we go. So we got some questions that we see right here. And stick around, guys, because I do have a very, very important announcement towards the end, and you definitely want to be here for that, okay? It's already stinking hot in here, so I'm going to actually take off my vest because it's incredibly hot, like in this studio room, right? So here we go. I should have worn a Superman cape. Like, when I took the vest off, it should have said S on there, right? Anyway, so first question in order, we got Nilafar Rahman that's saying all-in-one mortgage versus Heloc. So the all-in-one loan, for those who don't know what that is, the all-in-one loan is an exclusive product offered by a particular bank. And this all-in-one loan, what it does is it's basically a Heloc and a checking account basically in one. Okay, it's hence the word all-in-one. Now, what's nice about this is that your checking account and your Heloc is not, they're not a separate entity. Now it's just a single entity. So what's nice is that you can make direct deposit into your checking account, which also happens to be your Heloc. If you, let's say, have $0 in your checking account, you can draw the money out of your home equity line of credit. Very easy to use. It's probably the most convenient way to do our accelerated banking strategy, mainly because you don't have to really think about moving money back and forth. It's just, the strategy kind of does its own thing. So it's nice. I think that's one of the big perks about the all-in-one loan. The only drawback that I get to hear from a lot of people who go and end up getting an all-in-one loan is that the closing costs tend to be a little bit higher than your traditional Heloc. Most Helocs that are offered by your local banks or credit unions, they'll have pretty much zero closing cost. Other than the fact that there might be a renewal fee of maybe $60 or $100 every year. And you also have to pay for an appraisal if you're getting a home equity line of credit. So the all-in-one loan, essentially, it does make doing the strategy easy. I'll tell you that. But there is a little bit of cost associated initially in getting started, getting the whole account set up. Okay. Let's go ahead and answer the next question here. Okay, we got a couple people. Liliana is saying hello from San Jose, California. Welcome. La Grande 42, hello from St. Louis, Missouri. Awesome. Derek Edelman is saying, having hard time getting a Heloc, only been in my home for 3 months. Is there anything I can do? Yeah, so there are situations where I think what you're referring to is what's called the seasoning period requirement. Most banks want to see that you've had your loan or you had your financing for at least a certain amount of period of time. Now, this is called the seasoning period. Certain banks may ask you to wait for 3 months or 6 months, 9 months, some banks up to a year. But it's also true that some banks don't even ask you to have a seasoning period. In fact, some banks may actually just completely waive. You don't have to have a seasoning period. They'll just go and finance you out, even if you refinanced yesterday. Okay, so, or you made a new purchase or a new finance yesterday. So, obviously, you want to look for those banks that have zero seasoning requirements in terms of waiting from the last day that you've essentially, financed your home. Okay. Let's go into the next question. We got hello from Seattle. Welcome, Randy. Derek, you've already asked that question. Robert Chloe is saying hello from Utah. Welcome. Randy Nartia is saying, should I get as much as I can on my Heloc? Now, one thing I want to make sure that you guys understand is that I am not a financial advisor. I don't have any designated license or the professional designation to give you any financial advice. So everything that I say today, guys, are my opinion. And of course, it's an educated opinion. I'm not just giving you guys random things, right? But what I would say to that question is it's preferred that you get the most amount out of your HELOC as possible, but it does not mean that you're going to use the entire amount. Now, here's what I would prefer is try to get as much as possible, but use less than 30% of your home equity line of credit limit. The reason being is, again, a couple things. Number one, you don't want to run into the risk of maxing out your home equity line of credit. It could have a negative impact depending on what type of home equity line of credit you get. It also could have a little bit of risk when it comes to, in case you run into a recession, and there could be some things that the banks do to negatively impact your home equity line of credit. So my preference, my opinion will be to get as much as you can, but don't use everything, just use a portion of it, okay? All right, the next thing is, one second, get this text message out of the way. What type of HELOC is best for buying real estate? I've been looking around and everything is different. Yeah, you're right, everything is different. And that's the beauty of home equity line of credit is that HELOCs are non-QM, they're non-qualifying mortgages. So banks have a little bit more flexibility as to what they can offer and cannot offer. So this would obviously require you to go shop around for different banks and credit unions and local community banks. So go and take a look around. But I would say, depending on what you're trying to do with the HELOC, you're going to look for different features, right? If you're going to go use the HELOC exclusively for investing in real estate, you'll have one different set of HELOCs and different features that you're going to look for. If you're looking to get a HELOC to use our strategy, obviously you're going to have certain different features that would be compatible with our strategy. So it all depends on the context of what you're trying to accomplish. That will require the unique HELOC here that you want. Okay. All right. So I don't see any other questions down below. So go and drop down the questions. I would love to see you guys obviously ask questions. So I guess I can go in and pop the big news here, right? I'm getting a bunch of Instagram messages. So one sec. So here's the big news. And this is something that we've been thinking about for some time now. We initially made an announcement that we're going to be moving our live shows to Monday nights. Well, we had another executive meeting between myself, my brother, and we thought about what is best for the company, what is best for our audience, and what is also best for our paying students and clients that are working with us. So we made a decision, and I'll obviously explain the decision, but we basically made a decision that we're going to go and pull the plug on our live shows completely. Now, here's what's going to happen is for our live shows, we're getting rid of it, no more live shows, but what we are going to do is that for those who are part of our programs, our accelerator banking program, you might be in our real estate investing program, we are still going to continue to do live shows exclusively for our paying students for our program. Now, the reason why we do this, and I know it might be easily misconstrued, you might be saying, well, okay, so all you care about is people who give you money. Well, not necessarily true. One of the biggest thing for me is that I want to be able to deliver and pack as many value as possible for those people who are serious, right? We want to be able to give as much attention and commitment to those people who want to move into that relationship with us where they're paying students. So what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to mitigate all of our energy and time and our attention and resources to those individuals that obviously took the next step to want to learn from us, go deeper into the subject, go into the details. So bottom line is we are going to get rid of our YouTube live shows. We're still going to do our YouTube videos, obviously, Tuesdays and Thursdays. But as far as our live Q&A shows, we're going to do away with that. We may bring it back maybe once a quarter, to make it, obviously, we may bring, guests, we may bring experts, we may bring people to interview, and we'll do it live. We'll do that probably once a quarter. But as far as a weekly show, we're gonna be putting an end to that. So, guys, that being said, this is our last Q&A show. I know you guys are like, no, and you guys are like, clearing your desks, right, in act of fury and anger, right? It's kind of like a bad breakup, It's like why would you do this to me? You broke up with me over a text message. In fact, what's worse than breaking up with someone with a text message is a telegram. You guys should try that. Not that I've tried it, but I would actually be curious how that works if you decide to break up with someone on a telegram. I mean, can you imagine? Takes a couple hours for the telegram to be sent. I think DHL still. Oh no, Western Union still does telegram. I think. I can't remember. It's either Western Union or DHL that does telegram still. But anyway, just a joke, obviously. But yeah, we are gonna end it abruptly. And the reason why is obviously, like I said, we want to devote most of our attention and time to our paying customers and students. And then. We're still going to continue doing our shows, of course, for recorded shows. So, Derek Gittleman said, I just broke my phone. Nice. So now you might be asking, well, how do I participate in Q&A shows, or how do I become a student, right? So for that, you send us an email. Go, info@thekwakbrothers.com. In fact, I'll type it up right now. info@thekwakbrothers.com. There we go. Send us an email asking, hey, how do I become a student? Now, we're not going to charge an arm and leg to be a student. We don't do the whole thing of charging 50 grand or anything like that. I don't think that's right of us to do that. But there is a fee for you to participate, mainly because we want to develop more resources to helping you increase your chance and likelihood of success. Okay. So GM is saying, I agree with you, Sam. Thank you. Appreciate that. So this is gonna be our last show. So if you have any other questions, now is the time. Drop them right now. You will, if you're not if you're not part of our program, this is your last opportunity to ask questions. In fact, a lot of times we get a ton of comments on our YouTube channel. It's hard for me to go through every single comment. I mean, we probably get close to 100 comments a day. 100 comments a day, guys. So obviously, as much as I want to help and answer all those questions, there's only one of me and one of Daniel. So obviously, we have hired people, we have staff, we have amazing people here. But a lot of the comments or questions that are being asked are probably going to be exclusively for me to answer or for Daniel to answer. So we'll do as much as possible. But obviously, to get to people that we want to serve, that want to take this I guess relationship in the game to the next level, we're going to be serving obviously our paying students that want to go deeper into our strategy. So if you have questions, go and drop them down below. This will be the last sort of hour that I'll be answering questions publicly. For those that are part of our program, I will be answering those questions weekly. I'll be devoting more of my time, devoting more of my energy and attention to answering those questions that you may have, whether it's real estate investing, whether it's paying off your mortgage, or you want to start a business, or whatever the case might be. We'll go and tackle that. There we go. So Matt Smith is asking, when you sign up as a student, are you in the program for life? Yes, absolutely. You're in for a lifetime. I don't. Here's the thing. I didn't mean for this show to be a pitch. I really don't. That's not what this is for. But to answer your question, Matt, yes. If once you're part of our program, you're in for life. In fact, next month or January, we're going to be launching our new software platform. That's actually going to be free, but obviously there's going to be parts to it that you can only access if you're a paying student. But we're going to be launching that software. You get to keep that for free for life as well. But yeah, to answer your question, Matt, you're in it for life. And we also update our content as soon as possible. Whenever there's new information or a new law or new policy changes, we'll keep you guys updated on those, and you guys obviously get to keep that in for life. For those who are saying, well, I'm just gonna do this on my own. Well, hey, nothing's stopping you, right? Go for it. But the only issue is it's kind of like doing your own oil change when this is your first time doing it. You know, there could be obviously hiccups that you make, right? There could be things that you could do that you do wrong, or they're not as efficient, right? So sure, you can do the strategy on your own. I have no problem you guys taking that initiative, but obviously you're exposing yourself to risk. You're sort of playing with your own finances without getting that further education and sort of supervised training, if you will. So enough of me talking about that. Obviously, I didn't mean this. I didn't mean to turn in this show into a charade of pitches. That's not what it is. I want to honestly answer your questions as they come. Okay. Yeah, Matt Smith says, if you had 50 grand saved up, how would you invest it? Well, it depends on what's going on in your market. What the context is right now. I'm actually like really hot in here. But anyway, whatever the context of the marketing is or market, that's what I would do. Now, when it comes to real estate investing, I would say talk to Daniel. Daniel is more of the expert between myself and Daniel. He's going to be more so the real estate investing expert. I could talk about real estate investing and I can share what I've done in my experience because I bought properties on my own. But I think Daniel is more fitted to answer that question than I am. Let's see. Okay, we got Pablo Calijas. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, Pablo. Says, hi, Sam. Plan to buy my first home with my VA loan in the next 6 months. Focus on extra payments to reach 20% equity ASAP, then go for the all-in loan with CMG Financial. Opinions on a better option. Yeah, you can get a VA loan, and then you can also use a personal line of credit to essentially accomplish the same thing. I mean, guys, I think a lot of you guys are so wrapped up with this, like, I need to get a HELOC, or you're like, I need to get an all-in-one loan, that you almost forget that there's this option of personal line of credit. And in some degree, personal line of credit actually may be a better option for some of you guys, depending on the situation, because the personal line of credit is unsecured, meaning it's not secured by your equity, doesn't use your equity. I think personal line of credit can actually be a better tool if used in the right context. So let's say you have zero equity in your home. You bought using FHA, you bought it using a VA loan, or you done some sort of down payment assistance or whatever, but you don't have 20% equity or 10% equity. It doesn't mean that you can't use a strategy. It just means that you have to use a strategy with a different angle, with a different perspective, and that angle is, hey, personal line of credit can be an option for you, right? So don't forget about that, guys. The personal line of credit is also available. If you're looking to pay off your business loans, you got business line of credit. So there are other forms of line of credit. HELOC isn't end all be all. It's just not, okay? So don't forget that, guys. All right. Let's see here. Robert Chloe is following up by saying, I'm using it to buy other rentals. So you may want to see my video on how to go from HELOC to investment properties. It's out there. It's in our YouTube channel. So go and definitely watch that. But if I want to give you more of a 30,000 feet overview of what that is, a couple things is with HELOC. There might be some things that the banks are going to ask you. Some banks are actually going to restrict you from using the HELOC to buy real estate or other forms of real estate. Some banks are going to also restrict you using HELOC to getting more debt. In fact, I agree with that. You should not be using your HELOC to get in more debt. In the context of, using your HELOC to buy investment property. Now, I do believe that you could use the HELOC to purchase a rental property outright, so not with any other debt. Okay, so. Guys, promise me not to go and get your HELOC and then use that as a down payment and then get another mortgage. Don't do that. I think it's terrible to put yourself in that position, especially in the given context in our market right now, in our economy. We might be seeing a recession coming soon. Okay, so I personally will not do that. I would just use the HELOC to just buy out the rental property as a whole without any other debt. Now, that being said, what type of HELOC you want is obviously a bank that doesn't have those types of restriction as far as not being able to buy other real estate using HELOC. You can draw the money whenever you want with the HELOC. And I'm trying to think what else as far as features. You also want to make sure that you have easy access to the HELOC. So whether it's a checkbook or debit card or account transfer through an app, you want that easy access. Okay, so more flexibility, the better in terms of if you want to go use a HELOC to buy more rental properties. Now, my second school of thought with that is I don't think it's the best time to buy rental properties right now, given the fact that most real estate right now is uber appreciated. Okay, the price that the people are willing to pay right now for homes, absolutely ridiculous. Okay, and I think in most markets right now, it's based on phantom appreciation. This is something that I talk about almost every episode. You have to be careful whether our market, our economy right now, is in fact creating organic appreciation, real appreciation, or are fiscal policies and monetary policies enforcing some sort of phantom appreciation whereby financing is easier and thus more people are buying real estate who necessarily doesn't have business in buying real estate. So I'm not discouraging you guys from investing in real estate. Here's what I am saying. There are opportunities where you can go and buy real estate, but it's gonna be rare, okay? You have to get a killer deal right now, and those killer deals are often not as available, okay? It's gonna be harder to go and find these killer deals. That's why instead of spending 20 hours just to look for one deal, I'm gonna spend 20 hours to do other things, okay? Other income producing activities. So this is why part of the timing right now here with the Kwak Brothers is we have big emphasis on paying down your house. The reason being is when the economy is doing really, really well and the market's it's booming, it's expanding, there's hyperinflation hyper appreciation, phantom appreciation. I think now is a phenomenal time to pay off your debt, cut expenses, reduce, obviously any sort of debt that you may have. Now is the time to do it. Okay, create liquidity, get access to more cash, and then when the market dips, when the market crashes, and pretty much everything's on a discount, then it's an appropriate time to go on a shopping spree. It's kind of like Black Friday for real estate, which Black Friday is coming soon, right? It's next week, right? Next week and a half, yeah. So a week and a half will be Black Friday. So if I were you, just my opinion, now is the time to focus on your regular income. Okay, whether it's your job or your business, focus on increasing your income, and at the same time, pay down your debt. Now, of course, our strategy doesn't involve necessarily having to increase your income, but of course it helps, right? By increasing your income, it helps with, your general finances. But I think now is a better time to pay off your debt, go lean for many of you guys. Now, Daniel, my brother, is working on a massive development project. He's working on acquiring hundreds of rental units. That works on a bigger scale because you're moving the market in a different way. But if you're just a regular average real estate investor, I would say my opinion is to pay off your debt as much as possible, stay liquid, and wait until the recession hits. I think the recession will carve out a way for you to buy properties at a very discounted rate. Okay. Alrighty. We got a question that says, everybody needs a mentor if you want to be successful. That's you and Daniel. I appreciate that, GM. I'm guessing it's an initial. I wish I know your name, but it just says GM, so I don't know your name. Matt Smith is saying, when raising private money, how do you secure the lender? Do you use an attorney? So it depends on the deal, right? And I guess, again, Daniel is going to answer this question better than I could, but let me tell you what I do know. There's two main scenarios in which, sorry, I got to close the door here. There's two main scenarios in which how you can raise the money. Number one is that, let's say if you're doing a fix and flip, I think it might be better to have someone who's got the money to be positioned as a lender with a secured promissory note. Now, what that means is, let's say Joe Schmo here, okay, has $100,000 liquid cash, okay, and I have a fix and flip project, okay. Let's call my coffee cup a fix and flip project, for example, okay, and I need 100 grand to not only acquire the property, to buy the property, but also to rehab it. And I know after I'm done rehabbing this property, I can sell it for 160 grand. So I go in, rehab all my other costs, such as holding cost, selling cost, buying cost. They're all built in this 100 grand. I'm just gonna make this simple as possible. So what I would do with Joe Schmo here is set up a secured promissory note. So a secured promissory note basically is, it secures this property to a loan that Joe Schmo is going to give me for $100,000. And this is great because in case I default or I don't perform or the deal goes south, okay, Joe Schmo can foreclose on this property and take this property because he's the lien holder, right? So Joe Schmo's got a $100,000 promissory note with me. The real estate is secured. With that obviously you're gonna need an attorney to help you draft up the agreement, the promissory note, the mortgage instrument. I believe you're gonna need an attorney for sure to help you with that. Now that conversation between myself and Joe Schmo may not necessarily need an attorney. You might, if you're a beginner, obviously you don't want to say the wrong things. But that conversation obviously is just between me and Joe, figuring out the terms, what the interest rate's going to be, what is the total year or months in which I need to pay that loan back. So what would essentially happen is, let's say I finished the project, I finished fixing it, and I flipped the property, and I was able to successfully sell the property at $160,000. So I would essentially, from the $160,000, I made $60,000 in profit because I spent $100,000 acquiring and also doing the rehab and any other costs associated with flipping the property. What I'm gonna do is, part of that $60,000, I gotta pay Joe Schmo interest. So Joe gets $100,000 back. Okay, he gets his original principal balance back to Joe, but I also have to give Joe a small cut in that $60,000, which is essentially the interest payment to Joe according to what the agreement was. Does that make sense? Now, in a different scenario, let's say I'm buying this property, okay, as a rental property. In that case, I think it makes more sense to turn Joe into more of a partner than a lender. Okay, so I would turn Joe into a partner where Joe's gonna give me $100,000, or I should say invest $100,000 in buying this rental property. Okay, and then whatever cash flow that comes out of the property, Joe and I will split depending on what our agreement is. So if our agreement is that Joe gets 50% of this rental property equity, I get 50% of this rental property. Essentially, I get half the cash flow. Joe keeps half the cash flow. Now you might be saying, who in the world would do this? Like, why would I want to do? Like, if I had the money, if I was Joe Schmo, why would, since it substantiates and justifies me investing $100,000. So essentially what I'm saying is that this deal, if I'm Joe Schmo, this deal has to be a killer deal for me to obviously invest and for me to get my money's return. Now to turn this deal into a killer deal, as the investor that doesn't have the money, I got to be able to create value by negotiating the deal into a killer deal. I got to be able to negotiate my purchase price to where I'm getting a deep discount. I also need to negotiate to where I may have seller financing or some sort of arrangement that obviously makes it a very rare, valuable deal, okay? So here's what I'm trying to say. And Daniel likes to say this a lot. Daniel says, do you deserve to raise money? And that ultimately goes back to, do you have the skill set? Do you have the ability? Do you have the knowledge, the wisdom, the experience and discernment to substantiate Joe Schmo wanting to invest $100,000 in this deal? So if you're a brand new beginner, it's gonna be hard because you won't necessarily know what is a good deal or what is a bad deal. How do I negotiate to turn an average deal to an amazing deal, right? So this is where I want to emphasize education means a lot. Okay, and I'm not saying that you should sign up for a program. You should sign up for a real estate investing program. Not necessarily saying that, but I do believe that you should pay someone to teach you some of these things to expedite your learning curve. It doesn't have to be us. Okay, if you don't pay us, pay somebody else to teach you. Okay, and I'm saying for the sake that when you have that exchange of money and knowledge, something magical happens where you actually want to learn. You're making that commitment, right? You have skin in the game. Okay, so whether it's us, whether it's someone else, whether other programs, spend money and I shouldn't use the word spend because it's a terrible language. Invest your money in here first. Okay, your brain, your mind, and you'll know. You'll start to see. You'll start to change the way you see what is a good deal and what is not a good deal. Okay, invest in this first. And you'll change the perspective of how you see the world and what opportunities are available for you to make money. okay? Again, you don't have to pay us. You don't have to invest with us in terms of getting some sort of course or program. Go and invest your money in this, and I'll tell you guys right now that you will become more valuable by virtue of you knowing and understanding how to put good deals together. Okay, so it doesn't have to be us. All right, all right. Here we go. Bobby Simpson is saying, is there a standard list of some question to ask banks regards Heloc terms that work with the Heloc strategy? So yeah, Bobby, you're actually in our program. I know who you are. You're actually our one-on-one coaching client and our students, and welcome to the family. So Bobby, what I would do is go to our Accelerator Banking course. There's a section, I believe section 3 or 4. I can't recall, but one of the units, I actually list an entire question of what questions you should ask for a bank when you walk in. In fact, in that same program, Ron Bork, who teaches our principles of banking class, is also going to show you what sort of documents you need to have, what sort of information should you prepare before you walk into the bank. You want to leave a good impression, right, with banks. So go and check out the Accelerated Banking Program. You have access to it, and there's going to be a full-blown list of questions to ask. You can literally bring that with you to the bank so that you're like interrogating the banker, right? Hey, does your HELOC do this, right? Like you're asking all these questions. So you have access to that, Bobby, and you should be able to get that right away. Okay. GM is, it's always good time to buy real estate if you got cash. Cash is king. Dave Ramsey, I guess, but I would disagree actually. And the reason why I disagree is that when the price of an asset is high, why, right? Like, why would you buy something that you know that in coming years that same asset is going to be offered to you at a discount? Like, it's kind of like knowing that Black Friday is coming and you just going shopping right now without the discount. You know, you don't want to, obviously you don't want to pay more than you should. So right now, Daniel and I would say the same thing, is a lot of the properties right now are overpriced. Doesn't matter if you have cash, does not matter if you have a mortgage, does not matter you have infinite money, okay? I think it's just, excuse me for saying this, but I think it's foolish to make investment decisions based on understanding that, hey, I'm just gonna buy anything because I have cash, okay? It just doesn't work that way. Not every deal, not every house will make you money, okay? Not every house will make you money, okay? And I'm gonna be honest, because there's people out there that say, oh, go buy whatever you want and it'll make money. It's absolutely not true. It's complete garbage. You have to have the discernment and understanding, a metric, to understand what is a good deal and what is not a good deal, okay? What is a good relationship and what is not a good relationship. Okay, if you get into a relationship with someone, obviously if they treat you poorly and they abuse you or they waste your time, not a good relationship. But if you get into a relationship with someone, obviously they respect your time, they want to be with you, and they care about you. They know that they have things that are good for you. That's a good relationship. So in real estate, you want to get into deals that are obviously going to make you money. But part of that picture, not the entire picture. Part of the picture is how much does the asset cost? Okay, how much of an investment do you need to make? All right, so that's my 2 cents on that. I mean, you can take it, you don't have to. Just my opinion. Okay. Now, with that being said, I want to highlight another thing. Not everyone or not every deal that you buy using bank financing is also going to be a good deal. In fact, if I try to lean this way, I skew this way, but I try to buy properties using owner financing. Now, what is owner financing? If you don't know what owner financing is, it's okay. I'm not going to call you out on it. Owner financing is an arrangement, a result of a negotiation, result of a negotiation where if you versus the seller, so you as the buyer and a seller, you have a negotiation, your own arrangement where you make monthly payments to the seller in exchange for the ownership right of the property. So it's kind of like the seller being the bank and I'm the borrower. The seller, he or she is selling me the property on an installment agreement. Okay, I'm paying the monthly, little equity, right, every month. And what's nice about this is that there's no bank, right? There's no institutional relationship there. my payments or my loan that I have, right, with the seller does not get reported to my credit report, which is good. Could be good, right? And what allows me to do is I can go and do this over and over again. And I don't have to worry about the institutions saying, hey, you have too many mortgages, sorry, you can't borrow more. Well, with owner financing, I can do that. I can use owner financing over and over and over again as long as the circumstances allow for it. So if you guys want to learn how to buy properties using owner financing as a financing and an acquisition strategy, my brother and I have a free course on owner financing. In fact, I'm going to go and leave it right here. So I'm going to actually stand this way so that you guys can see the banner. Go to freeownerfinancingcourse.com. We have a free course on how to buy properties, how to negotiate using owner financing. Daniel has put up a wonderful class. It's great. There's you don't have to pay for anything. There's no credit card that you have to enter. It's not a trial. Okay, we're not going to say, hey, sorry, it's shut down now. You have to pay for it. We're not going to do any of that. It's going to stay free forever. Okay, so go and sign up for it. Freeownerfinancing.com. All you have to do is just enter your email and your password. Boom, you get to come back every time. So go and check that out. Freeownerfinancingcourse.com. It's right here. Go and sign up for that today. Okay. All right. Let's see if any other questions, guys. This is gonna be our last show. Our last show. So go and drop down the questions below because it's gonna be the last opportunity to ask me questions, unless you are part of our program and you are a student of ours. So you'll obviously get me, you get access to Daniel, myself, and our other experts that are gonna come in and out of the Kwak Brothers company. So this is your last chance, folks. If you don't get your questions answered, your biggest life mystery questions will remain unanswered. So you may want to you may want to get your questions answered today because obviously we're gonna cut the show moving forward. Okay, I know some of you guys are lamenting right now. You guys are crying. Okay, I get it. Okay, but guys, if you guys don't have any other questions, you know me. This is for you guys. I'm not here standing for my own, right, my own validation or pat myself on the back here. I'm here for you guys. Okay, we spend an hour or 40 minutes dedicating our time and energy to you guys, and this will be the last time we do it. For those obviously for being not our students, but for those who are our students, we'll continue to answer your questions. Okay. Matt Smith is saying, what indicators do you follow to see the market shift? One of the big thing is what the interest rate's doing, monetary policy, what are the headlines, what are the markets doing. I would also rely on, because real estate is so local, it's not national. Real estate is local. Okay, Colorado may be doing better than Illinois, or Florida may be like just tanking. It's taking it's like this right now, but places like maybe Utah is going like this, right? So real estate is local. So what I would do is the best opinion that I could give you guys is talk to a local broker who obviously is very competent, has been doing their business for a while. Talk to a local broker and see what they say. Hey, do you see inventory being turned around faster? Do you see inventory selling quicker? How many people are bidding on a house? Okay, if no one wants to buy and everyone wants to sell, then you know that by virtue of having more inventory, the price of the asset may go down. So because real estate is so local, I think it might be helpful that you guys focus on a local market and what they're doing, not the national. The national real estate trends are good, I guess, to kind of predict what the whole country is doing, but real estate is local, okay? And it's hard to gauge and measure nationally. You got to focus on, city or metropolitan area. If obviously you want to get a good gauge of what the market is doing. Okay. All right, folks. Yeah, this is going to be our last show, last episode. Of course, it's certainly not the last. We're going to try to do this maybe once a quarter. We're going to bring in special guests. We're going to bring in people, or it could just be us. Who knows? But for those who are students, we'll see you guys every week. You guys will have a chance to interact with me on Facebook, YouTube, email. You guys will have a chance to interact with Daniel if you have any real estate investing questions. So we got one more question from Bobby Simpson. Okay, our amazing coaching client. Bobby says, "Hi Sam, have you or Daniel personally used the Heloc strategy? I don't mean to get personal, but if you don't mind, can you elaborate on any personal experience with it? Yes, absolutely. We have used the Heloc strategy, aka the accelerated banking strategy, on our own, on our personal finances. In fact, our first interaction with it was we paid off a business loan. We had an $18,000 business loan, I believe, and we were supposed to pay it off in 4 years. And then we actually ended up paying in 2 years. So we were able to cut down the amount of time that we were paying by half. And also we cut down the amount of interest that we were owing on the remaining life of the loan. We also did this on credit cards. Some of you guys may know my story of how much I had in terms of credit card debt. And I was able to pay them off using this strategy. So guys, I'm a user of my strategy. Even today, I'm using my business debt, right? Business loans that I have, and I'm paying it off using this strategy. Guys, and another thing I would have to say, and I'll be completely transparent, okay? I am not debt-free, like completely debt-free, okay? I'll just be honest with you. I believe that there are certain applications to debt that's useful and it's good, okay? For example, I know that if I spend 10 grand on buying advertising for my company with my credit card and I put myself in debt, I know that 10 grand may just bring me 20 grand or 30 grand in revenue, okay, and pay back my 10 grand. So essentially I got in 10 grand in debt, but I made 30 grand or 20 grand back in revenue. I mean, is that a good thing, right? I mean, it's certainly, if you put $1 into a machine and gives you $3 back, how much more dollars do you want to put in? Like, you just want to keep feeding that machine, right? So that's what I like to do. I love buying income producing assets with debt, okay? Whether that's rental properties, I invest back into my own business, or I buy another business that obviously gonna bring me back return. So just debt alone is not a bad thing, guys, okay? It's not a bad thing. It's kind of like, and I'll be controversial, and I'll throw this out there, because this is gonna be the last show, okay? I'm gonna be super controversial and political. It's like a gun, it's like a firearm, okay? Firearm in itself is not dangerous. It's dangerous when it's in the hands of a dangerous person, okay? If it's on the hand of a safe person, a law-abiding citizen, it's not dangerous. It can be used to protect oneself or, beat the bad guys, right? Protect the innocent people from bad people, okay? So it's the same thing. Debt in itself is not bad or good. It becomes bad or good based on what the user is doing, okay? I mean, I don't use the word hate, I use the word despise. So I essentially despise individuals that says, oh, all debt is bad, get rid of debt, okay? It's kind of like saying all guns are bad, and I know some of you guys may believe that, but I certainly don't. I believe that firearms are only dangerous in the hands of a dangerous person. It's great when it comes to having someone great, obviously a police officer or someone who protects the public, has possession of such tool or firearm to protect the innocent. So, guys, that's just my spiel in terms of debt. Okay, we'll take one more question. This will be the final question. So Aaron Jenkins got the final question for the show. Okay, you get a medal, Aaron, the Medal of Honor of Questions. Any danger in using my no mortgages home HELOC from a bank who I owe for my rentals to pay off those rentals? You may have to rephrase that, but I'm gonna try to read it again. Any dangers in using my NO mortgage home HELOC from a bank who I owe for my rentals to pay off the... I could be reading this wrong, guys. Can you guys read that for me? I don't know. I don't know what's in this coffee, but sorry, Aaron. I wish I can answer your questions, but quite frankly, it just doesn't make sense. If guys, if you have any questions, if you want to type it out, if you feel like, oh my gosh, it's like Sam is running away, go and type it up. Go send us an email. I may or may not see it, but go and send us an email if you have any remaining questions, and then I'd be more than happy to address those questions for you guys. So, that being said, guys, it's been a pleasure. Wednesdays will never be the same. Obviously, for those who are part of our programs, you guys are students, or you guys are my one-on-one coaching clients, you guys obviously have access to me, and this will continue in that platform. If you guys are not part of our program, I'm not saying that you guys should go buy our program. I'm not going to force you to do that. That's not who I am. But if you see the value in the conversations that we've been having, Okay, if you guys see the value of working with my team, the knowledge and the value that we provide, even for free, guys, the hole gets deeper. Okay, there's follow the rabbit hole, so to speak. Okay, there's what you've guys seen is the tip of the iceberg. Okay, what I invite you guys to join is the bottom part of the iceberg. Right, it gets deep, it's big. Right, we go into great details. What you just guys seen is just a preview. So not saying that you guys should go buy our program, but it could be cool, right? To continue our conversation if that's what you guys want. So guys, it's been a pleasure. Appreciate and love all of you guys for for the last few months of doing our live shows. I know it's short-lived. We're gonna pull the plug. We are going to continue providing some amazing content through our videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2:30 p.m. Central Time. If you guys have not subscribed to our channel, definitely go and subscribe. And also click like on this video. So it helps us a lot with our YouTube channel algorithm, allows us more exposure, allows more people to check out our content. So guys, thank you so much. Appreciate all of you and your viewership. I will never forget all the questions that you guys have and the participation. I will see you guys. For those who are in the program, I'll see you guys soon. For those who are not a part of our program, you guys will obviously watch our videos on YouTube channel. You can also connect to our Facebook. We have a free Facebook group. Go and look down below in the link description section. I can't wait to serve you guys. See you guys. Take care and have an amazing rest of your day. Take care, guys.